Over the years, I have learned that I married a man who must be a member of the dull men's club. He is insanely bright, yet he relishes, in fact, things that are quite dull. He is obsessed with the weather. His favorite dip is hummus. He insists we keep a regular bedtime and eat vegetables every meal. He will not allow me to eat chips or cookies in the bed, even if we are watching a movie. And he created a chore chart to a degree of color-coded complexity that he was the only one in the family who actually understood it. Making spreadsheets brings him much satisfaction. He has a collection of many very normal socks. We have been married nigh on 19 years, and I feel perhaps it would finally be good for me to learn what dull men find exciting, so that I can entice my husband into thinking I have become more exciting in my 40s due to increased dullness. I am observing and taking notes on posts that receive many comments. I am myself a rather pointy person, and I prickle his dull needs quite a lot. Therefore, this group is very instructive to me. Thank you all. Your dullness is inspiring. Female, age 40, wears shoes, doesn't exactly remember what is supposed to be written in this dull end spot. I have observed that posts with a photo fare better for comments. Therefore, I am including an original drawing of us by our middle son, which I believe proves that, although we are unequally yoked in our appreciation of dullness, we do in fact love each other. A sad day for me. At 12:28 p.m. on Wednesday, 20th November in the year of our Lord 2024, my iPod Classic finally bit the dust. Don't be fooled by the fact it turns on. There was nearly 13,000 songs on it. After a previous post on here referenced a very popular metal song from 2006, I decided to let Titanic 2, as it was called on iTunes, play the corresponding album from start to finish as I worked. As track 5 finished, the old girl was struggling to bring the next track up. So I decided to give her a manual reset to help things along and, in doing so, wiped the entire database. Sure, I didn't use it much anymore, but there were albums and songs on there that aren't available on streaming platforms, nor in my physical collection. So it's really the end of an era for me. Maybe one day I'll find the time to load everything back on, but I do feel it's right to let the battery run down and leave it behind. And yes, I called it Titanic 2, because then iTunes would tell me it was syncing, and it was the second one I had. Male, size 10 to 12. No banana for scale because it's rude to make fun of the dead and or dying. I have to confess to a dull hobby. About 10 years ago I was in sales, and I used to travel all over the UK and spend many hours in motorway service stations, often for meetings, but also for lunches, and quick 40 winks in my car. After a while I started to get parking notices for staying longer than 2 hours. I never bothered paying any and just put them in a box and forgot about them. After a while this turned into an amusing hobby, and if my stay was coming up to 2 hours, I purposely stayed a bit longer to get a ticket to add to my collection. Even my postman began to inquire why I was getting letters with red lettering all over the envelope with threats of legal action. After a while I added shopping centers with 2 hours max to my hobby. The last time I counted I had amassed 34 contraventions. Here are the boring statistics. The largest increase, initial fine $60, rose to $660 before they gave up. The most fake selectors letters, 9 for a long stay and a delicious lunch at Swindon, junk 11. The most fake bailiff letters 7. For spending longer than 2 hours at TK Maxx Exeter. The largest offer of reduction for early settlement, $250 off for payment within 14 days. M5 Services, J19. Threats of can't pay, we'll take it away, too many to list. Also threats that my credit rating would be affected for non-payment. The most fake solicitors letters in 1 week, 5. The number that actually took me to court as threatened, 0. The number that I responded to, 0. Other statistics are available on request. I gave up this hobby some years ago, but I often dig out the dozens of threatening letters just for fun, and to remember some lovely meetings and lunches with nice people. A small selection of threats are pictured. Shoe size 9. Credit rating of 666, excellent. This is the best thing since sliced bread. With all this talk of tea making and boiling kettles, I'm wondering why more tea drinkers don't have an in-sink, instant boiling water tap fitted. We've had ours for 5 years now, after seeing them when visiting family back in the UK, and couldn't wait to put in our own, especially as it takes twice as long to boil a kettle in North America. Why spend time filling the kettle 10x per day, waiting for it to boil, getting distracted by the cat, then having to flick the switch again to reboil, when you could fill your cup or teapot with the push of a button, and get to be enjoying the tea so much quicker. It also makes cooking quicker, as we fill a pan to boil all the time. No, I don't make banana tea, it's just for scale. F44. Trained daughter to make a good cup of tea and cat to give high fives. F44. Trained daughter to make a good cup of tea and cat to give high fives. F44. Trained daughter to make a good cup of tea and cat to give high fives. Coffee, and the shipping forecast. It could be classed as far too exciting, though dull overtones makes it a passable dull subject. So I've just sat down with a nice cup of coffee and listened to the shipping forecast. I'm not even a sailor. Ahoy there and all that kind of thing. But one has to keep abreast of weather conditions, as it's a British must for making conversation with strangers as you go about your daily business. I do get much more engrossed, though, when listening to the shipping forecast, if I have a map with all the areas marked out so that I can follow the broadcast from SE Iceland to Trafalgar. It's very soothing, and a great meditation tool. My favorite area on the shipping forecast is German Bight. I know you're now all wondering why it's named German Bight. Don't look it up, I'll tell you, probably, even if you don't wish to know. Well, in 1955, a meeting of meteorologists representing countries bordering the North Sea recommended that the area then designated Heligoland by the United Kingdom should be renamed German Bight, the name it was generally known by on the other side of the North Sea. Enjoy your day.